Hello and welcome to this episode of Ship Undiscovered. Today we'll highlight a variety of talent within our own Shippensburg community. I'm Catherine Avilo.
And I'm Kyle Keeble. Stick around for a show of full music, poetry, artists, and pure entertainment.
The home for the hidden talent of Shippensburg is the Thought Lot, located right in the heart of town. The Thought Lot is a warehouse filled with artistry of all types of mediums. Jay Hardy got the thoughts of the Thought Lot's co-owner in this story.
Alright, that's chemistry. Alright.
The atmosphere would inspire anyone to be great. The Thought Lot not only serves as a music venue, it also serves as a cafe, an art gallery, a coffee shop, and a guitar shop. And it's always looking for more business. Individuals aspire to make the Thought Lot their home. With so much space, it's a multi-purpose home for creativity. Co-owner Hannah Nawa knows this best, as she is a vital person in the Thought Lot's existence today.
I remember going to a meeting when I was much younger with my parents where we signed a petition to keep the place up and running. I have no idea how the name came about. I know that it was originally supposed to be a place to help foster creativity, which I like to think that we still do that. There's been a lot of improvements. Like he said, it used to be these really old, very sketchy couches. Like, you don't know what has happened on that couch, so you don't really want to be sitting there. We got cafe seating, we built a new stage, and have just been constantly improving, making more studios for artists and businesses, and just always changing. That's why if somebody says, oh, I went to the Thought Lot 4 months ago, just come back and see it again because it's completely different.
Stay tuned because Evan Kreider, a Thought Lot regular performer, will be showcasing his guitar skills live. But before we get to that, we'd like to introduce Shippensburg University student Christian Saunders. Christian is a graphic design major and has always had a passion for drawing. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. So when did your passion for drawing start?
It started pretty much in high school. I went to a graphic design school, actually an architecture and design school, Charter High School for Architecture and Design. It's also abbreviated. It's called CHAD. It's in Center City, Philadelphia. And when I first started, the first class I've ever had was a graphic design class, and we had to come up with a logo for a business that we had to make up, and I created. It just was the first thing I fell in love with, and from now on, I probably would end up being a graphic designer someday.
Interesting. I actually thought about going to graphic design. So what can you tell us about the artwork that you brought with you today?
Today I have one of my print makings I've done in my printmaking 1 class I've taken here at Shippensburg University. The first thing you have to do is, with this, you have to sculpt it. And this specific sculpture itself is, my premise behind it was Tattoo the World. And as you can see, it's a tattoo gun, machine as most people would call it. And it's actually going towards the world. And that's the premise behind that. And once you have that sculpted, you have to glue it. And once you have it, the finished product, once you have the finished product of the sculpture, you have to compress it onto this paper, and you get this finished product right here.
That's a block print, right?
Yes, block print.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your work with us, Chris. And when we return, we'll hear some poetry from John and guitar tunes by Evan Kreider. Thank you.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you
Kyle?
decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
I already knew that I was going to go to college, from a young age.
I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm going to get my law degree. Then I'm going to come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's going to happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
Welcome back to Ship Undiscovered, artistic as pencils and music. John Watts knows that well. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
So what's the common theme with all your poems?
There's a lot of common themes that I play with. I play with nature imagery. I've been focusing a little bit on folk tales, a sense of identity, who we are, what we do, where we're going. So that's kind of those are the common threads through my work.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about your book, Trails, and share a poem with us?
So this is a book that I created. It's part of my honors program capstone project called Trails. I actually made the whole thing, all the work in it. I designed the cover, did the layout, all of it. And you'd like me to read a poem?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll actually read I'll read the title poem, Trails. I'm creating bleak and repetitive falsehoods under the pretense of art. The mountains, the sky, the sun, the forests all call to me in chirps and whistles, but then I have to stop when I realize that the trail I'm following is well worn. It's all familiar territory to the reader. Millions have gone into the woods, hoping to live their lives deliberately, hearing the same wild call as I. What can man create that will last? Better yet, what can I create that will last, that will reach into their hearts and make them beat in a way they never did before? We've all seen the long raging rivers and felt their icy waters in our skin. The sunlight has touched our faces in thousands of stanzas before mine, and I'm left to trudge through crowds of poets walking fraudulently on the trail. But then there are days when the crowds thin, and I find myself in clearings amidst fallen branches and shafts of warm light. For a moment I can pick up a leaf and see it. I can see its beginning, middle, and inevitable end, from newborn bud to mummified detritus. Am I seeing the leaf for the first time as no one else has? Or did it hang over Wordsworth as he composed a few lines over Tintern Abbey by the Wye? Did it once rest with the other leaves of grass? One day I'll come upon a smaller trail, not a road less taken, but a road unknown, hidden by black brambles and shifting shadows. Maybe when I find it I can bear the tools of civilization, the pen, the paper, the axe, the flint and steel, and carve out my own passage with words and vigor, and in a clearing of my own creation, in the endless wilderness of thorny language, I can build something new, using only words for wood and stanzas for stone.
That was so beautiful. Well, thank you for joining us, John.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Now we're going to take it back to Kyle and Evan for some musical entertainment.
Welcome to the show, Evan. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
All right. So when did you first start playing guitar, and what type of music do you play?
Well, I always wanted to play guitar when I was young, but I didn't get one until I was about 13. When it came to music, I definitely gravitated towards early 90s. I liked 90s rock. I just thought that era was a great time for music, but I actually originally grew up on like James Taylor, the old 60s and stuff like that. And now I do the 90s. So.
All right. Well, why don't we hear some of your songs?
Okay. This one is called When You Were Young. It's by a group called The Killers, but I put my own take on it, so. You sit there in your heartache, waiting on some beautiful boy to save you from your old ways. You play forgiveness, watch him now, here he comes. Doesn't look a thing like Jesus, but he talks like a gentleman. It started turning when you were young.